All right, so if I plug in t equals 0, I get 0 over 0. So let's do some algebra. So I suggest we get rid of these fractions and let's multiply by the least common denominator, which will be 3 times 3 plus t. 3 times 3 plus t. So limit as t goes to 0. So if I multiply this times this, the 3 plus t's cancel. So I'm left with a 2 times a 3 or a 6 minus, if I multiply this times this, the 3's cancel, so I'm left with a 2 times a 3 plus t, all over 3t, 3 plus t. All right, you cannot cancel these two, correct? That would be really bad math to cancel them, so don't do that. But instead, I'm going to take the time and multiply out the numerator. So I get 6 minus 6 minus 2t, 3t, 3 plus t. So the 6's cancel. So I get negative 2t, 3t, 3 plus t. I can see the t's cancel. So negative 2, 3 plus t. Okay, now I ask myself the question, can I plug in t equals 0? I can. I will, so if I plug in t equals 0, right? Plug in t equals 0, negative 2 over 9, and that's the answer. That's the limit. All right, so what we have here is a difference of cubes. And you remember, I told you first lecture, there was difference of cubes that you need to memorize. So this numerator stays the same. The denominator is x minus 3 times x squared plus 3x plus 9. These two cancel, so I'm left with a 1 in the numerator. So let's just go ahead and plug it in. So when I plug in 3, I get 9 plus 9 plus 9, or 1 over 27. All right, so here I have, if I plug in h equals 0, I get 0 over 0. So let's go multiply so that I can get rid of the fractions. So multiplying the least common denominator. So limit as h goes to 0. Remember to write it every single time. Distributing, canceling as I go. So I have a pi times a 4 plus h for the first term minus a 4 pi. So 4 plus h's cancel. Do not multiply the denominator out. Leave it as it is. I am going to multiply the numerator out. So I get 4 pi plus 4h minus 4 pi. 4h, 4 plus h. And I'm just going to use a different color here. You can see the two 4 pi's cancel. I'll just be left with a 4h on the numerator. So these h's will cancel. So let me write it one more time so we can see what we've got. So I get a 4 over a 4 plus h. So I could even cancel a 4. So I get a 1 over 4 plus h. So plug in h equals 0, and I get 1/4. Remember, that's the last step. Plug in h equals 0. All right, yet another one where I'm looking at 0 over 0. So let's multiply by the conjugate. So that'll be 1 plus h plus 1. Remember, you multiply on the top and the bottom. So limit as h goes to 0. So this is difference of squares in the numerator. So it'll be 1 plus h. The inside and outside terms will cancel, and the last term will be minus 1. And remember, do not multiply the denominator out. All right, so I can see these 1's go away. So what I'll be left with is h, and that h. So these h's will cancel. Again, you know you're left with a 1 in the numerator. So I'm left with 1 over, I'm plugging in h equals 0, so I don't have to write the limit anymore. Plug in h equals 0, so I get a 1 plus a 1, or a 2 in the denominator.